You're listening to Podketeers.
Welcome to episode 498 of Podketeers. Happy New Year, everyone. In this episode, we talk about Steamboat Willie entering the public domain, Gravity Falls fans were treated to a holiday surprise by Alex Hirsch, Pirates of the Caribbean joins the Genie Plus lineup, and a Dreamlight Valley glitch has the community split. We'd love for you to join the conversation on our social networks, including Instagram and Facebook, but we invite you to join us on Discord. Joining the community is super simple. Just head on over to podketeers.com/links and click on the Discord button to join the community. A very special thank you goes out to an awesome group of listeners known as the FGP Squad, our podcast Fairy Godparents, because it's their support via Patreon that help make these episodes of Podketeers possible. As part of the FGP Squad family, you get some additional perks like exclusive discount codes for new Podketeers gear, additional content that we upload to Patreon, access to our happy hour calls when we get an opportunity to do those, random giveaways, and more. For more information on how you can become part of the FGP Squad family, we invite you to check out podketeers.com/FGP. And of course, as always, a super special thank you goes out to the FGP Squad for their continued support. So that's it. That is going to wrap up the intro. But of course, if this is your first time hanging out with us, welcome. We hope that you enjoy the episode and that you come back for more. And of course, if you've been hanging with us for a while, welcome back, friends. Here is episode 498 of Podketeers. I really want tacos.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Is that how that song goes?
Yeah.
That's what it says. Yeah.
May all the tacos be eaten and I don't know.
And let them be tasty.
Why is that a New Year? Like, I should look up. That song has the weirdest name on the planet.
Yep. I still don't know any of the lyrics because I just don't know.
Let's see.
Really, the important part is when they talk about eating the tacos at the end.
Yes.
Once you're done, you celebrate. I guess it really depends on where you end up, right? Because you could end up with tacos, you could end up with tamales, you could end up with pozole, you could end up with, I don't know, you might end up at the Denny's or something, eating a burger or a Moons Over My Hammy for all I know.
Sounds good.
You never know where you're going to end up. Hey, I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast. I'm sorry to bring it up. I should have asked you before the podcast, but remember you were like, gonna go try that taco place, or you're gonna go to that taco place downtown because you're like, I'm gonna be downtown.
Well, so yeah,
Did you get a chance to go?
So we were talking about tacos. I was kind of saying, oh man, I don't really want to go do this show that I have to work on downtown. It's just a long drive. It's it's like 35-40 minutes. I gotta pay for parking when I'm down there. Yada yada yada. But then Heyzen goes, well, is there good tacos anywhere close? And I said, well, right across the street there's a taco shop. And I was, okay, that makes it all worth it then. I'm like, all right, so I'll look forward to tacos. So today was my first day down there for a full day. And I'm like, okay, it's getting to be lunchtime. I'll go walk across the street. And it's dark inside. I was like, oh, did they change their hours or something? And so I look it up on Google and it goes, permanently closed.
What?
Yeah, so the Chando's Tacos on the corner of 15th and H in Sacramento apparently is permanently closed. I haven't been down there in quite a while, so I had no idea.
Boo!
Yeah.
What'd you do about tacos then?
I just didn't get tacos.
Aww.
I just waited,
man.
And then I left early, and I got in and out.
Okay, not bad.
But it's funny because I was walking over there. I should have taken a picture. I'll be back tomorrow. But they have these big mural stencil kind of things of like people. It's like the building's orange, and then these are like black, kind of like silhouette-y, and but more detailed than the silhouette. I don't know what to call it, but anyway, of people. I don't know who these people are. Maybe if I take the picture, somebody will know. But somebody, since they're closed, has taken those giant googly eyes and put them on one of the guys. On
the mural.
Yeah, so it's like just like a lady and then like a guy and then like this other guy, and he's just got googly eyes. So I'm gonna have to put that in Discord or something. It's very silly.
Look, I'm not about vandalism, right? But googly eyes like make so many things better. I saw, this was months ago. I don't know if they got in trouble for it or anything, but I saw somebody was going into like a Target or like a craft store or something like that, and they were randomly putting googly eyes on like utensils and like just different things, so that when people went to look at the thing that was on display, it just had these like googly eyes on it. It was like the best. I'm telling you, googly eyes make
I see a lot of
better.
people on doing videos, and they have googly eyes on like their vacuum or their paper shredder or their like a lot of the time it's a planer, a wood planer or something. Anything that you can like feed something into, they put googly eyes on, and I think those are quite funny. I think there's a lady that has like put googly eyes on her Venus flytrap.
Whoa.
That's cool. Oh man. Maybe we should, I mean, we're going to be talking about it later on in the episode, but maybe we should do a Steamboat Willie with googly eyes.
Yes.
That would be our contribution to
The madness.
the Steamboat Willie situation, madness, and googly eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, happy 2024.
Woo.
Yeah,
It's a brand new year. It seems very similar to last year. We're just a few days in. And I had heard somebody on TikTok, don't you know, say something along the lines of, because of how the last several years have gone, they want 2024 to just be like plain oatmeal 2024. They just want a plain oatmeal year. I'm like, you know what? That seems good. I would love a plain oatmeal year.
Yeah.
That would be just dandy. Can we do that? And then I started seeing reports of everything that's going on. I was like, nope, I'm out. I'm done.
I don't know why it made me think of it, but so if you've seen the Blues Brothers, the movie, they go into the restaurant and Dan Aykroyd's character, he orders dry white toast. And they go, do you want butter on that toast? No, ma'am. Dry white toast. And then it's like, that just reminds me of plain oatmeal. But then John Belushi's character orders 4 fried chickens and a Coke. So maybe that's how the year is going. Instead of plain white toast, we have 4 fried chickens and a Coke. A little more complicated.
I mean, if I had fried chicken from Plaza Inn right now, I'd be like pretty stoked. So maybe. Did you know that Plaza Inn has to-go plates?
What?
I did not.
What?
You can order the chicken to go.
Oh, why couldn't they do this earlier? That would have been nice.
I'm probably thinking about this because I just haven't eaten dinner and I'm hungry and I'm like several hours past feeding time. So like my stomach's like, there's a rumbly in my tumbly. And, that's why I'm thinking about the tacos and the chicken and all that stuff right now. So needless to say, I'm going to be eating after this. I don't know what I'm going to be eating.
Something.
Maybe plain oatmeal just to get it over with, just to help the year along. I don't know.
No brown sugar, no strawberries, nothing, just plain.
Hey, listen, plain oatmeal is one of the things that doesn't totally wreck me right now, so maybe I should. Maybe that's what I should eat.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. Well, first of all, before we jump into anything, I just want to say thank you to everyone out there listening because, as some of you know, we were running into some tech issues the last couple of weeks, and we really appreciate your patience as we kind of work through them. I was happy to see that people were happy that we ended up releasing the Fat Cat Swinger episode because we love Fat Cat Swinger. They're just happy and upbeat, and it was a great performance. That one was from a few years ago, but for me, it's so relevant. I keep listening to that music all the time. It just makes me happy. So thank you for the messages, and thanks for the comments on those. But yeah, thank you so much for your patience as we were working through some of that. In that time frame, there was something that happened that I freaked out. I just freaked out. I just didn't know how to handle it. Alex Hirsch. That name might be familiar to many of you. Some of you may know him because we've mentioned him on the podcast. Some of you may know him because you're also fans of Gravity Falls. All of a sudden, one of the accounts that he manages just wasn't dormant anymore. It hadn't posted in years, and all of a sudden, there was a post that was seemingly teasing a return. And before we knew it, he was posting about a brand new book featuring Bill Cipher. So all these years after Gravity Falls has been, I'm going to say it was canceled. It was canceled by Disney. We're getting new content from Alex Hirsch directly. It's a brand new book called The Book of Bill. It's going to be released, I want to say May or June. I don't remember.
July.
July 23rd. July 23rd is the release date. I just looked it up. I mean, look, I own Journal 3. And if you're a fan of the show, if you've seen Journal 3, it is such a cool companion piece. This Book of Bill, though, imagine it's designed in such a way, like it's all black. It's got like a red like imprint of Bill on the top. It feels like the Darkhold of Gravity Falls.
Yep.
That's what it just looks like to me. So, needless to say, I pre-ordered it. I got mine through Barnes and Noble.
Nice.
I was a little too late to get the signed copy. Yeah, I was a little too late to get the signed copy, but I was on time to get the special edition that Barnes and Noble was selling, because they had two versions. They have like one that's got like a gold something or other on it. It's like their special edition, and then the standard edition, which is all black and like the red Book of Bill, like with Bill Cipher on it. So,
so I need to clarify. I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at the fact that I am not surprised that you went ahead and pre-ordered it. Like, I'm listening and I'm like talking about. I'm like, okay. I'm like, is he going to wait till July? No. I was like, let me see. No. And then you're like, I already pre-ordered it. I was like, that's why I laughed.
Yeah. No.
What if it was, it's called The Book of Bill, but what if it was just a book about different Bills?
I don't even care.
Bill,
it's got Bill Cipher on it.
Yeah, but what if it's like The Book of Bill, and it's like, Bill, Billy the Kid, and Billy Hill and the Hillbillies. I guess these are Billies and not Bill. Bill Nye the Science Guy, Bootstrap Bill.
Oh, wow.
Book of Bill. You know what? That's fine.
Billy
fine.
Butcherson from Hocus Pocus. Buffalo Bill.
Like all these random pictures, and he's like in the background photo, like
Billy
photo
Madison.
Photobombing all of them?
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Beta Ray Bill.
If anybody was going to pull off a book about bills using photobombs of Bill Cipher, it would be Alex Hirsch.
What about them? I'm just a Bill
I would
guy.
Just be happy.
I'm just a Bill. On
the Schoolhouse
Hill.
Rock.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
a different
page
kind
2.
of Bill. But that's, another Bill.
Oh, that's funny. I had to look it up because I couldn't remember exactly what the difference was, but I was right. So The general hardcover is all black, and it's got like a picture of Bill Cipher. It says the Book of Bill right underneath it. It's all red, but the Barnes & Noble exclusive is a black cover with a gold Bill Cipher on it, and the text on the bottom that says the Book of Bill is also gold underneath him. They were the same price to pre-order them, so to get the exclusive just kind of was a no-brainer.
You know you're going to buy the other one at some point.
Of course.
We wouldn't blame I don't know. It depends. It depends. Like, there's certain things that... So this book is actually rated for adults, and that's kind of what excites me about it, because Journal 3 was... It wasn't labeled for adults, but it was very kid-friendly. And so when my son, my youngest, who's also really into Gravity Falls, started getting into the show, I bought him his own copy of Journal 3 because I didn't want like him like messing up mine or like getting like Cheeto dust all over my pages or like popcorn grease or anything, right? So I got him his own copy. And so I'm thinking that depending on what the content of the Book of Bill is, I might end up getting him the regular edition. Unless the price changes. I don't know. Maybe I'll get him the special edition. But I don't know. If I did buy the other one, I guess I could use the regular and just keep the other one as a collectible. But we'll see. Right now, I'm just happy that I got one of them. Kind of bummed they didn't get the signed copy, but I'm just glad I got one of them. Nice. Because I'm just like, I'm so excited. I just want it to be July already. I want my book. So that's coming. I'm hoping that, this is a lead-in to other content. I'm hoping that this is a lead-in to like him reviving Gravity Falls and like Netflix picking it up or something, or like... a show that's based on Bill Cipher on Netflix. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know if Disney would just like go to the property, though.
Yeah, it looks like it's printed by Disney Books.
Yeah, and I don't know what happened, right? I mean, obviously somebody could have opened talks to fix a lot of the problems, because he's been fairly vocal about a lot of the issues that he had and why he left Disney, and when they canceled Gravity Falls and everything. So time heals all pain, I guess. Enough
money will make you do anything.
I'm sure.
Maybe. I mean, look, for the wrestling fans out there, CM Punk is back in the WWE after 10 years.
Whoa.
He made up with the company, and he's now being like, paraded around to be the main event for this year's WrestleMania. So if CM Punk can make good with the WWE, I'm sure Alex Hirsch can make good with Disney at some point. And like you said, maybe there was just a wad of cash that they said, hey, look, you see this like Bill Cipher shaped pyramid of money? Would you like it to make a Book of Bill? And then Alex was like, I like it. And then they made a book. I mean, who knows? That's a dramatization. I don't know if that's how it went down or not, but,
I don't know. I'm looking on his Wikipedia page, and it says Untitled Alex Hirsch Project for Netflix.
Ooh.
What could it be?
Boom.
What could it be?
See? There it is. All right. Well, we'll keep you posted. All you Gravity Falls fans out there, the book is still available to pre-order. I'm not sure what other stores have it, but Barnes & Noble does have it available. I was just on their site, and both the Barnes & Noble exclusive and the standard edition are available for purchase at this point. I guess it makes sense that they're both still available, right? Because they'll probably do these pre-orders for the next couple of months, and then once they know how many they possibly have to print, then they'll cut off pre-orders, and then they'll print everything, right? Does that seem like a pretty common timeline for something like that? I don't know how book publishing works, so...
I mean, usually I don't know, but I just found this, Heyzen. I was digging through stuff. According to the Alex Hirsch Twitter, it says, are you a fan of bells, whistles, perhaps? The pre-order of the Barnes & Noble exclusive version of Book of Bill with 16 extra horrible pages that you will regret reading immediately. So there is a difference between the Barnes & Noble exclusive and the other than the red and the
Nope,
gold.
I will not regret any minute of that.
You will not, but you got the good one by getting the 16 extra pages.
That's awesome.
16
Okay.
pages.
Well, there you go. Oh man,
was it?
that's so cool.
Oh, it looks like I'm just doing a timeline. He posted that announcement on December 15th at 8:28 a.m. And by December 15th at 1:28 p.m., the autographed ones were all sold out already.
Oh, I didn't
Wow.
find out about it till like 8 p.m. that day.
Yeah, it was sold out within like 4 hours.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, God.
But if somebody asks, is it autographed by you? And he says, it's actually autographed by a tiny caterpillar who learned to read and write, and we gave him this as a gesture. We're proud of him.
Damn it, I missed the caterpillar autograph.
Yep,
Oh,
you missed it, Heyzen.
damn it. Yeah, the only problem, I guess, for me was that he made the announcement on Twitter or X or whatever it's
The
called
artist
this week.
formerly known as Twitter.
The artist formerly known as Twitter, because I don't like the platform, right? I haven't really
Yeah.
Right.
been on it for a long time. Like, we have an account and everything, and I have it primarily because at first we were like tweeting out our episodes and everything, but we never really built a following or anything on Twitter, so we just kind of let it sit there. And like, I occasionally open it up because somebody will say, "Oh, like somebody like tweeted this." Like, what is it called now? Somebody
Post.
X'd this, or somebody?
They posted.
Zip
No,
it.
they just changed it and just made it post.
Oh,
Oh,
It's
that's
stupid.
dumb. That's dumb. Regardless, I don't really frequent the platform. Like, if he had posted on Twitter or on TikTok, I would have known like 3 seconds
You
after he
would.
posted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have known immediately. If it was on Instagram, I would have probably known like a month from now, because that's how Instagram works. It
Yep.
just tells you like, hey, remember last month this person you follow posted this. So yeah, TikTok I would have known 3 seconds in. Instagram I would have known about a month in. Threads I would have known probably within the hour, because Mel loves Threads. So if you're not following Mel, make sure you follow Mel on Threads.
I do.
She would have like sent me the message and been like, "Hey,
Immediately.
Alex Hirsch just posted this," like immediately, right? So within the hour, I would have known. So, and then Facebook is like, is that still a thing? Is Facebook still a thing for people?
I'm
Kinda,
on
right?
Facebook still because
Yeah?
my favorite store is Facebook Marketplace. That's my favorite store.
I'm kidding.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite store.
I know Facebook still exists.
Oh no, but is it still a thing people use? Probably not much. But Facebook Marketplace is my favorite store.
I have
love
to
it so
explore
much.
Facebook Marketplace.
It's my favorite store.
After you told me people have some like crazy deals on there for things that they're getting rid of, I figured that might be where I go to search for like furniture and stuff.
Yeah, I've gotten so much stuff for free.
Yeah, because I've been trying to figure out like what my setup is going to look like, so we can start doing like some more video later this year. And I need some like shelving and stuff like that, just to put up some like books and like my Funkos and stuff like that. But everything's so expensive, man. Even at IKEA, where everything's disposable, like it's like $400 for a bookshelf.
You gotta get that Billy bookshelf. That's $99.99.
That's the one I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah. Okay. But see,
inflation, dude.
this
It's
is
like
Billy.
so ridiculously expensive.
So this shelf, the people listening can't see this shelf. That's a Billy bookshelf. That shelf, that's a Billy bookshelf. I got them on Facebook Marketplace for free. Free Billy bookshelf. They give away for free all the time on Facebook Marketplace. Or like
All the time, you
$10
say.
all the time. Let's see. If I go on Facebook right now, let's see what I can find when it comes to Billy
I'm
bookshelves.
so invested
You know,
in this.
This is great.
I want a
audio
free Billy
content.
bookshelf, damn it.
I mean, let's see. Facebook Marketplace. Oh, where is it? They took it. I'm on my browser. I don't usually. Oh, I'm logged in as a business account. I need to be on my personal account. There it is.
And they are discontinuing it this year, so if I find any of the old ones, I guess it's good. That's probably why. I'm probably looking at the new design.
$40.
No, you said free. That's $50.
I know,
you said
$25.
Free.
I'm
still not
getting
free.
There. I guess what I should type is free.
That would make
Billy
sense.
Bookshelf.
All right. Well, while you look for a Billy bookshelf.
Free. I mean, this isn't exciting audio content.
It can be. Some people might be
That's
really
fine.
obsessed
Please.
with Billy bookshelves.
Like me.
Who knows?
I love Billy bookshelves. Anyway, continue.
Listen, before, I know you're like a big like Billy bookshelf, but I used to use the Ivar shelving system for like everything. The one that I have next to me right now is Ivar. Okay, because I just loved how I could. Anyway, oh man, I don't even know how we went this deep into like IKEA talk.
Well, we'll say non-sponsored.
But we could be.
Yeah, we could be though. I mean, we'll sell them Billy bookshelves and Ivar shelves all you want, IKEA. But throw in some of them meatballs. Those meatballs are good.
Yes.
And a Sflugen Hoogen and a Flarkskin and
no, not
Jordan,
those. No,
not
come on, man.
No,
come on. This is a PG podcast, man.
And
come on, not that.
Crumb Plumper.
No, dude, the PG podcast, man. So let's pivot away from that.
Those, you don't know. Those could all be real things.
They are. That's what I'm saying. PG podcast, man.
Okay,
Come on.
I'm going to name
Minivan,
some IKEA.
remember?
You don't want to know about I'm going to the IKEA website right now.
Oh my gosh, new segment.
What about the Ekrar? EKRAR?
Nope, I just want meatballs
Or
now.
the
I'm still hungry.
Nisa Force? Or the
Miso soup? What?
Klepstad? Or the Bagabo?
Nah, I'll settle for the meatballs, but thanks.
or the Tigiliphilis.
Hey, PG podcast, man. PG.
What is this word? TJILLEVIPS.
Exactly.
That's like I'm just gonna say IKEA words throughout the show, but we can continue. I'm sorry. This made me laugh more than I thought it was gonna.
It means taco in Swedish.
Well, supposedly they're like named after like mountains and streams and
That's
animals
not
and
true.
stuff.
No, that isn't true.
But why is there a
It's
thing
a taco.
called Morbilang?
I don't know.
But
I can't pronounce half of it. I just want meatballs.
What about the Ekandalin or the Pintorp?
That. Oh, you know what? You changed my mind. Maybe
Or
that's the one I should get.
Calyx. Those are the cubes.
Hey,
the calyx.
those are the cubes. Those actually are very functional. Those are
they
actually
made
pretty great.
one thing that people buy all the time and named them something easy to say instead of the Jokkmokk. JOKKMOKK. I could do this. This could just be a whole show. It's going to be called the IKEA show.
Well, you can
let's
do
move
that.
on to something
We're gonna
else.
move
Why
on.
don't we talk about something else that's not the Vingstappen or whatever. That was I made that one up.
Exactly.
Okay.
Hey, so I finally started bringing Jack into my valley. I want to talk some Dreamlight Valley. I'm like level 9 with him. I wanted to give him the Sandy Claus suit right before Christmas so that I could decorate, set up a picture for Christmas and everything, because the weekly Dream Snap challenge was like a very festive, like holiday theme. And I don't know if either one of you has been doing Dream Snaps, but
I have.
Yeah, cool. What's your highest ranking so far?
Oh, I don't remember. I remember just I've gotten like 900 Moonstone off of it.
Cool.
Once.
Yeah. So I'm kind of the same. Yeah. I've gotten a couple of 900s. One of them, I ranked a little higher. I got 1,200 Moonstones out of it.
Wow.
I was pretty excited. But I mean, look, if you're into the game, a lot of the stuff that they're adding right now in the premium shop, if you don't want to spend real world money, I know we talked about going around every day and getting 2 or 3 of those little blue chests with the Moonstones. But the dream snaps are a really great way to start banking some of those moonstones because,
Agreed.
If you even try a little bit, like to decorate, you can get anywhere from 400 to 900 moonstones. Obviously, if you do a really great job, you can get up to 4,000 moonstones just for winning the challenge that week. And as far as not spending real-world money, that's a really great alternative to kind of keep you coming back to the game. So the reason I'm bringing it up right now is, one, I wanted to get Jack to Sandy Claus, reach level 10, put him in that outfit, and I haven't finished the game. I started grinding to try to... I'm on this quest now to change as many characters to time benders as I can. Because when the game first started, some of you listening that have been listening for a while might remember that for a while I was trying to be the Pumpkin King of Dreamlight Valley. And so every time a new character would come on board, I would make them a gardener so that I could do two things. One, I would farm a bunch of pumpkins with them. But because I was farming up to 1,000 pumpkins at a time in different biomes, I was also leveling them up. Because gardening, you essentially get XP for your character for planting, for watering, and then also for harvesting. So 3 times you were able to level them up, and I was able to level a lot of them up to level 10 really quickly that way. The problem is that I ended up with pretty much all gardeners, which by the time I had a bunch of characters was great. Because you know how the more of a specific character that can do the same thing, you get more rewards. So if you're harvesting pumpkins, you don't just get the one, you get the bonus pumpkins that come with the character.
Right.
By the time I had all those maxed out at 10, I would farm 1,000 pumpkins, but would end up with 2,500 pumpkins from all the bonus stuff, right? So it was 1-to-1, if not more, especially when I got those additional 10 or whatever. And so now grinding to change them over to time benders to try to get all of the items I need to be able to craft the new stuff on Eternity Isle and to advance in the story. Man, it's crazy. There's 3 things in particular that are so hard to get, and that is Minnie's bow when you're doing time bending. It's a dingle hopper and an oar for Moana. Those 3 things are so hard to get when you're time bending.
Wait, for reals?
Yeah, for some reason.
Like a pink bow?
Yeah.
I have that. And a
yeah,
dingle
but do you
hopper.
have 10?
No. But I guess
That's what I'm saying. It's
I must have blinked when you said that.
Yeah. So the rate. So okay. So in order, you know how when they have a way to create a manual that you gift to them, and it changes what they're your buddy for, right? So my goal right now is because Jack was my newest character. Thankfully, I hadn't unlocked him. So when I did unlock him, I was able to immediately turn him into a time bender. Then Fairy Godmother hadn't been released from the pumpkin yet. And because I released her, I made her into a time bender.
Nice.
I was able to grind enough to get Maui assigned as a time bender.
Okay.
So my goal is to essentially turn everyone into a time bender so that they give me all sorts of gifts at the end.
Yeah.
But in order to create that manual, 3 things that you need are 10 pink bows, 10 oars, and 10 dingle hoppers.
Okay.
And I have 3 maybe of each one. They just they're so infrequent that it's such a pain to get them.
Yeah.
Now here's why I'm bringing all of this up.
Okay.
Okay. Multiplayer was just introduced into the game just a little under a month ago. Everybody's happy. Everybody's angry because we got multiplayer, but it wasn't what people were expecting. And, it's just, it is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember in the Animal Crossing days when we were playing that, we would go to each other's islands and we would exchange gifts. Like, we would just drop them on the floor.
Yeah.
We would, like, gift each other things and stuff like that. That's kind of what you can do in Dreamlight Valley right now. It's really limited. You can kind of go into each other's, like, houses, the Scrooge store, all that stuff. But there isn't much other stuff you can do. Like, you can't gift each other clothes. You can't any of that stuff. Only, like, things that you can mine. Like, if you, like, the iron ores, gold, gems. If you have food placed anywhere, whoever you invite to the valley can take the food and eat it or just take it with them, whatever they want to do. If both of you have the expansion pack, you can also drop and pick up things like the dingle hopper and the bow and the ore and like those little like glowing cubes and all that stuff, like the time bending tools that you need to advance in the game. So somebody figured out that in multiplayer there is a dynamic that is, it's kind of a, I don't know if it's like a glitch. It's more of an exploit. It's not really a glitch because it's working the way that it should. It's more of an exploit. But what's happening is people are going, let's say you and I, Mel, are visiting each other's valley, right?
Right.
You'll be player 1, I will be player 2. The way that this works is you open up your valley for visits. I visit your valley as player 2. We both save our game as soon as we enter your valley so that we have like what we need. And then I drop all my inventory. And let's say that I have like 10 dingle hoppers and 10 bows and like every other slot is just like gems or diamonds or gold or whatever you want to say, right? I just drop my entire inventory worth of stuff. You pick all of that up and then save your game. And then kill the game completely. Don't exit, don't save again after that. Just end the game. Force close. And after that, not only do I have full inventory of everything, but you have a full inventory of everything that I dropped as well. So people are exploiting the save when you visit people's valleys as a duplication glitch for everything that you can get in the game.
Do I want to say it's an exploit? Maybe it's a little hidden Easter egg because Vanellope is there. I don't know. I would say run with that. You know what? Whatever. It's not harming Disney. You can't buy them, so keep going. Is there any harm that comes out of this? Is what I'm wondering now.
So I'm glad you asked that.
Okay.
Before I answer that question, Andrew, where do you stand on, like, what's your initial thought on this exploit?
Take advantage of it until they patch it.
Okay, so before I answer your question, Mel, the expansion pack has had a handful of glitches, right? There have been some bugs. There was one that I 100% took advantage of that I didn't even know was happening until somebody pointed it out because I thought it was just weird that it was happening. Then I saw somebody on YouTube talk about it because I searched for it. Like, I was wondering what was happening. And the glitch was that if you were on Eternity Isle, one of the tasks that you can do to get it's not a Dreamlight, it's what do you remember what it's called on Eternity Isle?
Mist,
thank you. One of the tasks that you can do to get more mist is hang out for 5 minutes with a character. And so it's random, it's like Eve or Gaston or whoever like the character is. And the glitch was that if you hung out with them for 5 minutes and you like cashed in the Stardust for that one, and you just sat there. Every 5 minutes, you would randomly be awarded one of the other tasks that was available. You didn't have to do it. It just, every 5 minutes, it would just grant you one of those randomly.
Okay.
Now, that one's been patched. Like,
right.
I found out about it like 3 days before it got patched. So I was able to take a little bit of advantage, and so I was able to open up some of the other areas on Eternity Isle. But that one was definitely one that I wanted to take advantage of because I didn't have to sit there and, like, you know, go out and find mist using the time bending tool. Okay, so in answer to your question, the Dreamlight Valley community is super torn on this one, right? Because there's a lot of really cool things that you can craft, and there's a lot of cool things that you can make or assign, like creating the manuals to make everyone a time bender. If, let's say, I had, like I said, I have 3 of the bows right now, 3 oars and 3 dingle hoppers. But if we did this duplication glitch, it will take 10 to 11 turns before we have 1,000 of them each. If we just went in with like 10 or something like that, and we just kept saving it, within like 10 to 11, it would just duplicate, like it would double and double and double and double, right?
Yeah.
So there's people that are saying that the people that are using the glitch are at an advantage because they're just going to be able to breeze through the game. And for me, like, I don't care, right? Because if they're going to breeze through their game, they're the ones burning through the content. Like, I don't care, like, what they
There's
do.
no score for Dreamlight Valley.
Exactly.
There's no, like, leaderboard that says, like, all right, you're in first place, so who cares?
Kind of. So I'm glad you said that. So somebody brought that up. And because of the dream snaps, people are saying that what this is going to do is it's going to put people that can create more iron ores and more gold to craft everything, to, like, you know, have everything available to craft unlimited. You know, they're going to be at an advantage.
Wait.
And I want to give you my opinion. I saw Mel has a thought, but I'll give you my opinion. What's your thought on this one?
Why are we complaining about advantages right now when a lot of us have been here since day one? Or not me, but there's been a lot of people who've been playing who's had so many moonstones and whatnot and has taken advantage of that before it became, you know, released to the public.
Well, I think that
what's the point?
That's what the people. Well, that's what the people are mad about. Is I've played from day one and I
cares?
only have 17,000 this and bloody blue, where this guy started and all he's doing is going to his friend's place and getting a bunch of iron, and I'm mad about it.
I mean, I expect it to help friends. There's no harm.
Yeah, and so it's funny that you say that, because the first thing that I thought about when I found this exploit, I'm calling it an exploit because it's straight up an exploit.
Yep.
My initial thought was, you know, if we continue to build our gaming community on Discord, at some point there's going to be some people in there that are going to be coming in late into the game. They're not going to have the advantage, and some of it gets frustrating.
Yeah.
Right? I can tell you that I have the privilege of being able to play a little bit more than other people do. And since the game launched, I could tell you I've clocked in like a good 300 to 400 hours, you know, at least an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes a day. So I mean, I have the opportunity to play way more than other people do. And I don't even make content full time for Dreamlight Valley. But the times that I've played, I've been recording the content because I eventually would like to put it up on YouTube. So I've clocked in quite a bit on them, especially now that I have the second account that I was just playing through just for the fun of it, right? Just to not worry about the content. It was just kind of like playing through. But the idea that I had was very similar to what happened with Animal Crossing. Like, I could tell you that there came a point in Animal Crossing where, you know, you want to collect as much stuff as possible. You want to be able to decorate. You want to be able to, you know, go and make your island look nice. And there are people that have been playing for a year or two or longer, whatever the case was, that have collected multiples, like duplicates in different colors and like different like color schemes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know I had you help me out. I had our friend FGP Squad member Anitza. She had a bunch of duplicate stuff when I first started that she just gave me at the beginning as well. That helped me decorate my island. And then there came a point where I went turnip crazy, and I was just buying massive amounts of turnips. And like, I had joined a couple of Discords where people were posting the price that their turnips were selling for, and I was always looking for those like 400 plus like sale prices. And so I would make multiple trips to their island, hand them down like a couple rows of bags of cash, and then I would end up with 1 billion, like, I was going to call them moonstones. Like, I don't even remember what the currency is. Is
Money.
it leaves? Whatever it is
Coins.
in Animal Crossing.
Coins?
Coin, yeah, whatever it is.
Bells.
The point is, bells, thank you. The point is that there's a lot of games that have very similar exploits, right? And so a lot of the community helps each other out, and you use what you have. You can create new things. You can give your duplicates, whatever. My only issue with this, and it was an issue that I had with Animal Crossing as well, are the people that try to take advantage and will duplicate a bunch of stuff and then be like, hey, I'll sell you this time-bending manual for $30 real world. Let's just PayPal me. And there's people that do that. Like, like when the exploit is just so easy that you could just literally just go in and duplicate it, the ones that are taking advantage of people that don't understand it, or like younger people, like kids that don't know or something, that's where I have a problem with it. Outside of that, I planned on creating a section in our Discord at some point if we could make this happen for us, where if somebody was new and they were like, hey guys, I need Dreamlight to unlock the Forgotten Lands and I don't have all that much time to play, we could use the exploit to give them a whole bunch of dream shards that they could convert to Dreamlight, and then they can open the Forgotten Lands. You know what I mean? Or I don't have pumpkin seeds. I want to be the pumpkin king or queen of my own valley, and then you can go and give them a whole bunch of pumpkin seeds to get them started. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, at some point I plan on doing that on our Discord, once we get more players. So in general, if the exploit works for you because you don't have a lot of time to play, then use it.
Yep.
Like, if you have somebody that you can use it just to help you continue to enjoy the game, do it. I will warn you, though. I can pinpoint the moment that Animal Crossing started to get less interesting to me is when I started collecting stuff from other people that way. When I got to the point where I had all the colors of stuff, and maybe like a month or two before I really stopped playing, somebody told me about the treasure islands that people had, where they would just dump a whole bunch of stuff, and you could just go and massively load on everything that the limit of whatever, however many things you could hold at once. That's kind of where the game stopped being interesting to me, because at that point, you didn't have to grind for anything. You didn't have to do anything, right? So after I did that a couple of times, I thought there's no point if I keep doing this. So I stopped doing it to collect everything. And then I gave away a bunch of the stuff that I ended up getting. But for this one, I don't see a problem with it. I'd love to hear everybody's thoughts on it. I'd love to hear people's thoughts on it, because the main concern was the leaderboard situation, right? And so I know you asked that earlier, Andrew. There kind of is a leaderboard, because if you think about it, Dream Snaps is a leaderboard. The more votes you get, the higher you rank, the more moonstones you get. So the argument people are posting about this advantage is that you're going to be able to create limitless amounts of these things that you can craft to either craft and make, to design, to decorate, or to give yourself an infinite money exploit so that you could buy whatever you want from Scrooge. One, Scrooge has garbage. Scrooge never has anything good anymore, so I wouldn't worry about it there. Two, if there's anything I've learned from being a photographer in all the years that I did photography, is that you can have all the greatest gear. You can have the greatest equipment, but if you don't know the basics of how to, shoot or compose or anything, it's going to look like crap.
Exactly.
Right? So it doesn't matter if you have everything available to you. They could unlock everything tomorrow. And if you had everything available, it's not going to make you a better designer. It takes practice.
Honestly, I've given votes to photos that don't have everything, because you don't have to have everything. You could just have like a few pieces or whatever. You could have the most basic one. I'll still give you a vote because I like the way it was, the composition or how it was laid out or whatever. It doesn't necessarily mean like the most expensive stuff is going to be like the best. Nah, just have fun.
Plus, those people may have just started playing because they got it for Christmas or something, right?
Right.
So they're obviously not going to have all the stuff that some of us that have been playing for over a year are going to have in the game. So, I don't know. I feel like it kind of levels the playing field a little bit if you're willing to do, if you're willing to find people, obviously, to help you do it, because you do have to find somebody that has the resources that you need to help you do it. But if you're the type of player that doesn't play all that often, but wants to enjoy, crafting or doing the stories without having the hours and hours to grind through the game, because let's face it, there's a lot of like time consumed in grinding, like mining and farming and like fishing and everything to advance in the game. If you just want to be able to enjoy the game without having to like invest all those hours, do it. Keep enjoying the game. Do what you got to do to like keep your sanity, right?
Yep.
Does it put you at a slight disadvantage? Some people will argue yes. I think it's more of what you do with the stuff that you have. Like if you use the exploit and you're a wonderful designer, then you're going to be slightly at an advantage than other people. But just keep that in mind. If you have everything available to you, if they made everything available to us tomorrow because there was a glitch that unlocked everything, people's dream snaps are not all going to be like top tier. There's still going to be people that don't look great because they just don't know how to decorate, or they haven't built that skill yet, And if you're worried about that, then you work on your skills and you get better at it, right? That's
how we learn.
I don't know how else to say that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that came off mean or anything, but that's kind of where I stand on this one.
Yeah. I mean, we all started with nothing, and, we just kept playing. Even though we didn't have anything, if we made, just progress, that's the best thing you could do, is just keep playing. And you'll get there eventually. The end.
Yeah. So I guess the next question is, do you want to try it and see if we can make it happen? Because I haven't had anybody to try it with, because you need to have the expansion. If you're willing to try it, I'm willing to try it. Yeah. And if we can make it happen, anyone out in the community, we have a game section on Discord. Let us know. It is cross-platform as long as you're not on PlayStation. PlayStation is the only one that requires you to play or do it with another PlayStation player. But Xbox, Switch, PC, and that's it, right? That's all the other consoles that it's on? Yeah. Are cross-platform. So, let us know if you want to give it a shot, or if you need some stuff. Hell, we might have some stuff in there that you need, and we can get rid of and help you advance in your game. So, there we go. All right. Well, before we continue, I do want to remind you that this episode of Podketeers is brought to you by a fantastic group of listeners known as the FGP Squad, our podcast Fairy Godparents, because it's their support via Patreon that help make these episodes of Podketeers possible. If you want more information on how you can become part of the FGP Squad family, we invite you to check out podketeers.com/FGP for more information. There you will find a link to our Patreon, some of our top contributors, and a little bit about what the FGP Squad is all about. But being part of the FGP Squad family gets you some additional perks, like access to additional content that we've uploaded to Patreon, discount codes whenever we release new Podketeers gear, random giveaways, a special section of Discord, and more. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. And of course, to all of the members of the FGP Squad, we just want to send a huge thank you for your continued support.
Oh, wait, hold on. Before that, I gotta give you some more IKEA furniture.
Oh no, we're back to this. Platlands, Barcass. What are these, by the way?
These are all lights.
Oh.
Blodvingod. Blodvingod is
that's a vampire.
Nightlight.
I was going to say,
No,
that sounds like a vampire.
It's a turtle
That's
nightlight.
a vampire. No, it's a vampire. We're agreed. We outnumbered you on this one. It's a vampire.
Well, I'll show you the picture on IKEA.com/US/cat.
Googly eyes and some
lighting.
teeth on it.
We'll put googly eyes. Yes. I love it.
List.
Oh
Man.
man.
There's lots of up.
Well, while you continue looking for vampire turtles on IKEA.com, hashtag not sponsored. I want to talk about some stuff happening in the parks.
Mickey
Because-
Mouse.
Obviously, not yet. We'll be talking about
Sands.
Mickey Mouse soon. That's a bookshelf, by the way. Mansion obviously is closing.
Or Mickey. Oh, I see.
Mickey Mouse. Yes.
Anyway, Haunted Mansion is closing. Whatever.
So, Haunted Mansion is closing. This was already something that was talked about. We mentioned it an episode or two ago. It's going down because Mansion Holiday needs to be taken down, but the biggest change that's coming is the area is getting reimagined so that there's a brand new queue. It's going to look way better if they do everything that's in the concept art.
Well, I hope so.
Because, Disney does everything that they have in concept art. And they're adding the shop right outside of the mansion. It's going to be a Madame Leota shop. And, I wasn't 100% on board with the shop until, I think, Mel, you made the argument of, making it weird and kind of giving it that like Museum of the Weird style twist to it. And then I was like way on board. Like now I can't wait to see what they're going to end up doing with the shop. So I'm pretty excited about that. But because they're closing the mansion, obviously they want people to do other stuff, because mansion's going to be closed for a big chunk of the year. They're still working on the reimagining of Splash Mountain into Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Obviously, you still have Winnie the Pooh all the way down there, if you want to really go deep into Critter Country. But what was the surprise that they talked about for New Orleans Square to help with all of the people that will be going to New Orleans Square?
Well, to help, because as you mentioned, unless you want to walk to Winnie the Pooh, you've got just one attraction, one really good classic attraction that's just there. We just, ride in boats and whatnot, and then we go on an adventure. Pirates is going to be the only attraction practically in New Orleans Square that's going to be open. What was the brilliant idea? Let's put Pirates of the Caribbean on Genie Plus temporarily, which I don't know. Lies. Anyways, it's almost like how. Why would you want your guests to pay on one attraction that's a really good one and stop the flow of the line? Who do we talk to? Josh tomorrow? Like, what's going on? What is going on? So that is the surprise. I feel really bad for those who are going to pay for this attraction. I don't think it should. And the reason I had that something in my throat is because I don't know if it'll be temporarily. No.
Yeah.
No.
They've put it temporarily on there in the past. I think as an operational thing, I think it's a nightmare. Like everybody knows how horrible the Pirates lines can be.
Yeah.
Just in general. And I think that with how the queue is and where it spills out into, New Orleans Square and stuff, that it's just they could freaking use the Haunted Mansion queue and then have people walk over to the Pirates of the Caribbean, depending on how long that can get, because putting Lightning Lane in there is gonna be really
brilliant.
It's just gonna back it up. I mean, it does. You see it with the mansion too. It backs it up like nobody's business. People Mover attractions shouldn't have a lightning lane, but
And then Rise of the Resistance broke down.
Oh, yes.
Rise of the Resistance, it broke down.
So this is like an honest question. I'm not, trying to like start anything. I'm not trying to be facetious or anything, but
sure.
Like we've talked about it in the past, right? That Genie Plus, like you mentioned it just a couple minutes ago, Genie Plus seems to back everything up. Do you think that it's just because they haven't necessarily figured out how to incorporate it properly? Or do you think it's, like, I hate to say it, but do you think it's just a tactic to make money? Because before Genie Plus was introduced and before Lightning Lane and all that stuff, we had the standard paper fast passes, right? And I was signed up for a touring plans account, and I had like all these like sites and everything that you could use to predict like crowd levels and like how long wait times were on attractions. And let me tell you, they were like pretty accurate on those sites. Like they had years and years of data that made it so much easier and so much more enjoyable because you could plan out a day like pretty much to the minute. Like that's how accurate these were. And you would figure that Disney would kind of incorporate some of that into the technology, but like in the few times that I've had an opportunity to use Lightning Lanes and Genie Plus, I remember getting on the Spider-Man attraction in Avengers Campus. I felt like I waited way longer than the standard queue to get onto the attraction. It just feels like the more people that buy it, it's not helping. It's just making it worse altogether, and Disney kind of knows that.
Mm-hmm. They do. They do. It's honestly, it's like this. I could see like there is an idea and stuff, but it hasn't been thought through, like through every avenue or whatnot. Because this was the one thing that kind of bothered me, like on my last few trips, like to see how you had to either pay to, do your thing to go, you don't have to wait in line, you'd come back. But the lines, you would see them and they would be pretty long. And since then, it's been like a constant thing. So I wish there was a way where they'd be like, okay, switch it up. Or, I mean, I don't know. I still don't understand why they decided to just take away, not Fast Pass, whatever. I can't think.
Fast Pass Plus.
Yes, thank you. I was like, oh my gosh. My brain was like, stop. Yeah, that whole system worked. I mean, it worked. There was no problem. You could add it onto your pass, but it worked. And I don't know, like they're trying, and I understand they want money and stuff, but it's like, at least give, your guest a bone. Gosh, no pun intended, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's just, I'm confused. I am confused.
I can answer all of these questions pretty definitively. It is 100% about money. We know that everything the Walt Disney Company does is about money. They're a company that wants to make money and shareholders and blah, 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 blah. But we also have this to blame on one Mr. Robert Chapek. This was his baby thing. We're gonna squeeze all the money out of every person that we can, and who cares if the parks suffer for it? Like, we're making our money. So even though the original Fast Pass was a more nuanced system, a more elegant system, I would say, when it comes to distributing people across the parks and keeping lines with, also the priority that Fast Pass had versus what Genie Plus and Lightning Lane have now are two different things. Now, because you have to pay for Genie Plus, or the people that are paying for Genie Plus want a premium experience because they're shelling out $25, $30 a day, whatever it is on the premium days. They go, why, when I walk up the line, I don't get to just walk straight in? Because, yeah, you're paying for it. You feel like, people can feel entitled because they're spending money on a thing. But then, from what I've heard, rumors, and, nobody knows what's for fact or not, but it's somewhere in the 10 to 15 groups of Lightning Lane people versus one group of standard queue people. And now that's a huge significance. Like on Spider-Man, just our last trip, we got in line and it said it was a 45-minute wait, standby. We ended up waiting an hour and 45 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And yeah, and it was just Lightning Lane night. I don't know if whoever was doing the thing they were told like, hey, the Lightning Lane thing was down, so everybody's going to be piling in here kind of thing. It was just a whole horrible situation to be in. But you see that in these attractions that are built to have a high capacity, they Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean is a small world. Like, it's a small world, has a Lightning Lane, but not a ton of people use it. So you can kind of see the Lightning Lane line's real short, and the Small World line is typically 15 to 20 minutes, even with Lightning Lane, because it's an underused Lightning Lane. But if you do something like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is new, and it's a pretty high capacity ride, it's not as high as the Haunted Mansion or other Little Mermaid, but that line can get crazy, especially at the top of the hour or the every 15 minutes when Lightning Lane is available or whatever it is for those times where people pile in. It's, oh, my thing clicked in right now, big group of people. So the company is kind of saddled with the decision that Chapek made because they spent all this money implementing this. They built the whole park ecosystem to function around this Lightning Lane and Genie Plus thing, so they can't just backtrack and say, hey, we're going back to Fast Pass, because they don't want to look a fool and say, hey, sorry, this thing just isn't working out. Like, but the thing is, it's working out great for the bottom line because it's just free money. It's nothing, there's no physical product they have to provide for these people. It's just, access to this section of the app that you're paying $25 a person for. So, I mean, there is the development cost in that, but everybody knows, if you've used that app, it's horrendous still. Like, it's not like the app is like the best app in the world. So, it all comes down to money. Like, in the end of the day, that's usually what it's going to come down to when it comes to the Walt Disney Company. I really do try to segment my brain when I think about Disneyland versus the company, because I have so many good, fond memories of Disneyland, and then the company's all the time kind of makes me sad when it comes to this stuff. And, it's hard to, you gotta do it if it's the place that you enjoy going to, I guess. But
listen, that has been so much of what I've been thinking about the last couple of years, right? I agree with you that there's a lot of things that make me feel the same, and this is kind of one of them. I think for this in particular, I feel like the sting is harder because maybe you could, how they do the special SoCal price tickets for like 1 or 3 days or whatever, they have like the $87 tickets or whatever. Like, a lot of that harbors a lot of goodwill. For people that, haven't been feeling, like great to go to the park or whatever, or, the last time that they went, they had like a really bad experience. And for a lot of people that can't go to the park because prices are just skyrocketing, it's a totally different time financially for people. There's a lot of people that don't have passes anymore because they just can't afford it. It's too expensive, or they're not available. And, it makes me think, like, when they had Fast Pass and Fast Pass Plus, there was way more people in the park, and it was just so much more efficient. And now there's less people in the park, and they can't get it together.
Theory. Quote,
in theory.
I don't know if
theory.
I don't know if I believe
you're
that.
Right. You're right. In theory, there's less people in the park. But if that's the case, if we're going by what they are saying, then there's less people in the park, right? If we're taking their word on this one, if there's less people in the park, then why can't they get it together like they had it with Fast Pass and Fast Pass Plus? So, I don't know. I feel like maybe a good solution for this would be for them to maybe, if it's temporary, maybe knock down the price to like $15 or $20 even. Like, it doesn't seem like a lot, but even a $5 discount on something like that type of service goes a long way with visitors.
Give
right?
a free churro. It's the same price.
Yeah.
There you go.
Give everyone, or if you're a pass holder, give everyone one free Genie Plus attraction per day or per visit. Like, make it just a part of the pass. Like, why? It doesn't cost them anything, right? But if you just kind of embed into the system that if you are a pass holder, once per day or once per visit or whatever, you get one free attraction that you don't have to pay for, I think that would go a long way in harboring some goodwill with a lot of park guests.
Definitely. I mean, it then, does that thing of wet the whistle. It's I'm getting used to this thing. Maybe I'll pay for it next time or whatever. But yeah, it's, I could go on and on, but it's really, Genie Plus has ruined a lot of what used to be fun about Disneyland. Like, you could, even on days that are quote unquote less busy, having the Genie Plus still makes those lines explode at certain times. And it's really just, I'm sure Larry has more experience with this because he goes all the time, but it really just is a completely different experience than 5 years ago, which is, sometimes a good thing, sometimes a bad thing. In this case, in my opinion, I think it's not such a good thing.
This and the reservation system. I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast, but I know both of you have heard me talk about why the reservation system has been just a nightmare for me. But,
it's stupid. They should get rid of it like they're doing in Disney World.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Well, we'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this. Like, what do you think is a good solution outside of get rid of it, right? Because I think we can all agree getting rid of it would be great. But Andrew's right on this one. The company's making a lot of money on this, and they're just not going to get rid of it because they've invested so much in the infrastructure, and it would be something they would have to walk back, and they would look foolish for investing all that stuff. So they're not going to do that. They're not going to get rid of it. But what would be a change to Disney Plus, or to Disney Plus? A lot of it. Make it Hulu.
Make it the Hulu app.
What's a change that you would like to see in Genie Plus or Lightning Lane that would maybe get you to use it a little bit more? Or what do you think would be a good benefit, especially for Magic Key holders, for pass holders, so to speak? So join the conversation. We'd love to hear your thoughts. You can either leave a comment over on Instagram in the comment section for this post, over on Threads, or join us on Discord. We'd love to have you as a part of the community there. All right, before we wrap up this episode, we do want to talk about the big news. That
yes, it's the big news is I got more IKEA
bookshelf,
things to talk about.
The bookshelf from IKEA that Andrew's about to read off. You only get 3, so make them good.
Oh,
make them good.
Only 3.
I'll even exclude the one that you just said right now, but you got 3, so make them good.
Ragrund.
Okay, that's spaghetti sauce.
God Morgan.
That's Thor. Okay.
I was going to say.
God Morgan is a set of clear plastic bins with lids.
No, that's Thor's little brother.
God Morgan. And I don't know. Vilto. I give up now. I've only got 3.
That's what you're ending with?
Jarn. Alt Jarn.
That's better. That's better.
Alt. And they have like little O above the A and the umlauts above the A, other A.
Nice.
Anyway, Alt Jarn. I'm going to find some better ones for the end.
All right.
But anyway, some bookshelf news. Mickey the Mouse.
In bookshelf news, Mickey the Mouse, Minnie the Mouse, and Pete the Cat have all entered the public domain. Kind of. So some of you may have heard, you may have seen it on the news because it's been a really big topic of interest over the last couple of weeks that Mickey Mouse is entering the public domain. What they really mean is that the Steamboat Willie version of Mickey Mouse and Minnie and Steamboat Pete have entered the public domain. Now, this is something that Disney has fought in the past. There were laws that would limit how long a company could hold a copyright, and Disney has gone to fight to change the laws, so that they could keep the copyright to Mickey a little bit longer, to the point where some people called it the Mickey Mouse Law, or the Mickey Mouse copyright law. Now, before... So what does this mean exactly? It means that if you decide that you want to take Steamboat Willie, essentially you have to kind of use like Steamboat Willie in its entirety, with the hat, the shape of Mickey as Steamboat Willie. You can't put gloves on him. You can't change the visual of what Steamboat Willie looks like, because then the Disney company could argue that you're using Mickey Mouse, because remember, they still own a trademark for Mickey Mouse, and trademark and copyright are different. You could still get into a lot of trouble for breaking trademark. But if you want to get like Steamboat Willie in that very famous picture, where he's like turning the wheel and stuff and whistling from the cartoon, you could put it on a t-shirt. You could do, whatever you want. You put it on a mug. You could put it on a hat. You could do whatever you want. It is public domain, and it's just free to use at this point. There are a lot of people that are already making a horror Mickey video game. This is very similar to what happened when Winnie the Pooh went into the public domain, and we got Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. In the same vein, we're going to be getting 2 Mickey Mouse or Steamboat Willie horror films and 1 video game. And it took those companies less than 12 hours to make their announcements on January 1st that they were coming as soon as Steamboat Willie entered the public domain. What does that mean for us?
I think I found a second video game too.
There's a second one now too?
I think so.
Oh, man. So what does that mean for us? That means I'm sending a bunch of Steamboat Willie stickers out to the FGP Squad. What's up?
Hey.
Sending decals out. So if you want a Steamboat Willie decal, I don't know if I'm going to have different colors. I don't know what we have available. But, yeah, I'm going to be sending out some Steamboat Willie stickers or decals for the FGP Squad. Yay! Yeah, be careful. Because, again, trademark is still a thing. You can't really change it. You can't... I guess you can take screenshots from the actual cartoon itself and do stuff with that. But there's not much more. Any changes that you make, like make the eyes look closer to either the current Mickey or Pie-Eyed Mickey or anything like that, you're going to get in trouble because... Yep. Everything else is still copywritten. Like, it's only the Steamboat Willie version of Mickey that has entered the public domain. The same with that version of Minnie. The same with Steamboat Pete. But yeah, I think we're going to be getting a whole bunch more of these horror films. And
yep.
video games, because it's something that people have wanted to do but couldn't without getting into a lot of trouble before, and now they can.
Yep, the internet doesn't wait. Nope, they don't wait. I was kind of interested, I was up and I'm like, what's going to happen? Let me just see. I don't know. I just know it's going to be in public domain. Woo, the internet. All right, so you have not just an announcement of, video games, movies, memes, even Bitcoin. But I'm going to send you guys the link because there is a Mickey, Steamboat Willie Mickey, but I don't know how they're going to, I don't know how long it's going to stay as it is because he's got gloves. And a lot of people are forgetting you cannot use the gloves. You shouldn't be using the gloves. But yeah, take a look at it, at the NFT, which I'm reading. There's only 2,000. Yeah. I don't care for them. But so many different things. So many. I had seen the whole cartoon on Instagram. As one of the reels, someone had just posted the entire cartoon. People did not wait.
You want to know what's funny? I was talking to somebody about that specifically, and they said, you can upload the Steamboat Willie cartoon to the Podketeers YouTube account and just premiere it and just let it play for 24 hours straight. And I thought, you know what? They do it on the at the Main Street Cinema. I guess I can totally do that now, right?
You can do Steamboat Willie and you can do Plain Crazy.
Yep.
Those are the two that you can use.
Boom.
Those are the two from 1928.
Yep.
This one looks pretty cool, though, this NFT.
It does, but I was like, oh, you're kind of too close because look what's behind it.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's too close to parks.
Yeah. I mean, they're already they're instantly going to lose on this one because one, the face has way more structure than the Steamboat Willie one does. Two, he's got the red pants on, the red knickers, so to speak. That was not a trait of Steamboat Willie. The hat you could get away with, but again, pie-eyed Mickey. You cannot change the eyes. They just have to be like the dollops, right? The big ovals. They can't be pie-eyed. They can't have the dual ovals. And obviously, like you mentioned, Mel, it's got the gloves on. That's the big giveaway that it's closer to newer Mickey than it is to older Mickey. It does have this really cool steampunk look to it, though.
It does.
I do appreciate
this
that.
This is obviously AI
of
art.
Course.
Yeah.
This is the
100%.
most AI art I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Of course.
But it's way better than the Disney Thanksgiving one. I'm sorry to say.
I forgot about that.
But yeah, I mean, this wouldn't make it very far. This is going to get, Disney's going to be on this one. It's just too close to it. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'll upload it. Other people have probably already done it, and it's already on there. Yeah. But yeah, expect some decals or stickers or something because we're, why not? It's
because we
cool.
can.
Yeah. There's this big argument that I've seen online about this where people are saying, yeah, take Steamboat Willie. Well, they're actually saying take Mickey Mouse, not understanding the difference between Steamboat Willie and Mickey Mouse and what they can and can't use. But a bunch of people are saying, yeah, take Mickey Mouse, make a whole bunch of money now that it's public domain because Walt Disney himself made his fortune on public domain works. Your thoughts on that?
Ooh, well, I mean, who can't just take public domain work and not do it for themselves? That's the whole point of public domain. I know there's some people who are upset, they've been wanting to do something to just be I guess they want to just throw it back into Disney's face. That's the best way I could describe it. I'm I can't say any else.
No, I mean, listen, there's a lot of people that have that sentiment. Like, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't as nice as you were. Like,
No.
they had some choice words to say about that. But
Yeah.
you're right. That's kind of how people feel, right? This is kind of like them sticking it to Disney for all the years that, Disney, made money off of us. Andrew, what are your thoughts on that particular comment?
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's it's gonna be hard. You have to be careful, and I really, caution anybody to really look into, make sure you're doing what you're doing is not gonna get you a copyright strike or a trademark strike, that is, as well, from Mickey Mouse. But hey, if it's in the public domain, do whatever the heck you want with it. Maybe I'll write a Steamboat Willie musical or something. You can do whatever you want.
Please do that.
I mean, if you really think,
By
Steamboat
you and
Willie,
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Exactly. Hey ho, it's a Mickey Mouse, yo, and we're gonna do
We're on the Steamboat, and here comes Steamboat Pete.
It's a scuttlebutt. Anyway, but yeah, so just be careful. But yeah, mine is, if so Steamboat Willie, if people don't know, is like already a play on another thing. So there was a song, I believe is called Steamboat Bill.
Another Bill.
Yeah, there's another Bill. Steamboat Bill is a song, a 1910 song. And then in the same year that Steamboat Willie came out, there was also a Buster Keaton movie called Steamboat Bill Jr. And it's, a comedy, et cetera, et cetera. So Steamboat Willie is kind of like already like a play on other things that aren't, because that's what cartoons were like,
parodies.
In comics and things. It's just like, parodies and things. So that's just kind of what they were at the time. But yeah, Mickey Mouse is now just like, King Arthur and Sherlock Holmes and whatever. You can do whatever you want with it, but the caveat is, like, the Walt Disney Company is still around, and if they don't like what you're doing, they're gonna stick their lawyers after you.
Yeah.
But this, bigger companies can now just put a picture of Steamboat Willie on their Oreos or whatever, and they can't do anything about it. There's just gonna be all this. I'm just waiting for the grocery store to be full of Steamboat Willie things that they just plant a sticker on. It's the Steamboat Willie cucumber or whatever. It's like the Donald Duck orange juice, Steamboat Willie this. You can just put it on whatever you want. If that's how it works, if you just take the screen grab from the, original thing.
And there's a lot of
all
screen
right,
grabs.
You're just sticking it. I'm sticking Steamboat Willie on Crustables now.
Yeah.
These are the Steamboat Willie Uncrustables. Because you can. It's you can put a picture of Sherlock Holmes on whatever you want. Now you can put a picture of Steamboat Willie on whatever you want, I guess.
Yeah. So the other character that's entering public domain is Tigger. He is also another one that will be available to use. Now, here's the thing. For that particular comment about people, sticking it to Disney and all that stuff, I landed very similar to kind of where my argument with the exploit for Dreamlight Valley landed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just because you have it available doesn't mean you're going to produce something that's great, like Pooh, Love and Honey, or Murder and Honey, or whatever it's called.
Blood and
Honey. That is a perfect example, right? It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. It's out there in the ether, and now we're going to be getting something similar with Steamboat Willie. A couple of films, according to our breaking news earlier, and video games, right? But for all these items that have been in public domain, like Little Mermaid and, Peter Pan and, like, all of these stories that have been in the public domain, at any point you could have used them, right?
Yeah.
The only thing that was copywritten are the Disney versions of those characters. So this particular drawing style and the characters that the Disney company came in with, those were the ones that were off limits. But the drawings from the books themselves, or however you imagine them to look as part of those stories, the characters themselves, you could make them. They were available to use, right?
Yep.
But and we kind of saw that there was always, spin-offs. Like you would go into the Target or like the Walmart bargain bins, and you see like the $2 DVD with like Flying Boy on Carpet from the Oasis, for $1, or I don't know, what's another one? Flying Boy with Fairy fighting pirates on island, and they were always like $1 or $2. So anybody could use them. It just wasn't the Disney versions that you could use. Steamboat Willie's a little bit different, obviously, because the character itself, Steamboat Willie, is now in the public domain. So it can be used. It can be, used to produce whatever you want, as long as you don't change them to look like modern Mickey in any way. So I'm sure that 2024, like Andrew said, is going to be the year that we see Steamboat Willie on everything. I'm kind of curious to see how often we see Steamboat Willie on stuff. We're going to see like tire centers opening up, like Steamboat Willie's Tire Center, Steamboat Willie's Boat Buffing Service, Steamboat Willie's, I don't know, like lawn services, like everything.
All kinds of services.
Yeah, everything available.
I do want to correct myself. I'm just doing some research on public domain, and I did say Plane Crazy, but apparently, even though that was filmed in 1928, the copyright was not filed until and released in 1928, but the copyright wasn't filed until 1929. So that will not.
Oh, so that's
it's
next
only
year.
Steamboat Willie. Yeah, Plane Crazy and the Galpin Gaucho will be next year.
Gotcha. Well, at least we could still upload Steamboat Willie and just let that premiere on the Podketeers YouTube channel. We'll make our own little Main Street cinema out of that. So either way,
another thing that's going into public domain is, you brought up Peter Pan, but there have been multiple iterations of Peter Pan that were in public domain, but the main one that I believe the Disney film is actually based on is now in public domain. The book, anyway, not the Disney Peter Pan.
That's Peter and Wendy, right?
No, it's a Peter Pan or the Boy Who Didn't Grow Up. There's multiple Peter Pan books by J.M. Barrie and a play and all this stuff. So I'm just looking up different 2024 public domain stuff. There's some Charlie Chaplin things. There's just a bunch of other stuff. Look it up. It's kind of interesting to see what's going into public domain now.
Nice. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what people come up with, because I think the part of like Tigger entering public domain is like, isn't the House on Pooh Corner also entering?
Yes, the
like,
House
public
on
domain?
Pooh Corner. Yep, that's the debut of Tigger.
That's a great song, by the way. It's one of my it was a song we used to sing for our kids when they would go to sleep. The Kenny Loggins, like House on Pooh Corner. It's a great song, man. Love it. All right. Well, FGP Squad, to celebrate, I guess, Steamboat Willie entering public domain, we're going to be sending out some stickers, some decals. So expect those sometime soon. I need to work on getting those made and sending them out, but hey, we can now, so we will. We're celebrating, Steamboat Willie entering public domain. We'll have a viewing of Steamboat Willie. What's great about this is that it's kind of great and it's kind of not great. The biggest problem, the first thing that actually came to my head was, for those of you that have been following us for a while or know that we have fundraising efforts throughout the year, know that we based our team name off of Steamboat Willie. Our name is Steamboat Willie, right? That's our fundraising team. And the first thing that came into my head originally was, oh man, I'm going to be able to create a Steamboat Willie shirt with Steamboat Willie on it. And the only problem that I see with that, and this is probably like a question that we'd have to ask a lawyer or something, is that although Steamboat Willie is in the public domain, part of the trademark and like part of the rules is that you can't use the item in a way that makes somebody, like a consumer, think that it's coming from that company, right? Like you can't market something in a way that makes it seem like, oh, that's a Disney company thing right there. So I'm not 100% sure if we could just like put Steamboat Willie on a Steamboat Willie shirt, which is why originally in the logo we ended up using just like half of the wheel. But I'm going to look into that a little bit more because it'd be pretty awesome if we could have Steamboat Willie shirts with Steamboat Willie on there.
Yeah. It also makes me think of at the fair or carnival, and they have all the knockoff character rides.
Yeah.
At the fair. Now they can just have Steamboat Willie ride at the fair.
Water ride.
Weird, bad, airbrushed art of Steamboat. They already have it, with no copyright, but they could do it, and that wouldn't get them in trouble.
That's true. And Winnie the Pooh and Peter Pan, I guess. But
yeah,
their
Winnie the Pooh
versions.
and Tigger too.
And Tigger too. Good one.
And Tigger too.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up, I think, for this episode. We'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think Steamboat Willie's going to end up on, because obviously it's going to be a bunch of crazy things. So far, the count on horror movies is 2, and at least 1 video game, maybe 2.
No, I found 2. The other one's called Mouse.
Oh, that one
like
was
Cuphead,
released before.
but with Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, I saw that one too, but I didn't know if that one was associated. My brother sent me that one a few weeks ago. I guess if it's
Fumi Games.
Yeah, if it's also Steamboat Willie, well then okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So let's do this. Let's have a guess. How many spin-off films or games do you think we're going to end up with by the end of 2024 involving Steamboat Willie?
I'm aiming low. I'm going to say 25.
You think that's low? I was gonna say 6.
Oh, okay.
I think that the steam, as it were, is it's gonna lose its sting after the first little bit. These people wanted to be the first, and they're gonna be like, "Haha, we did it!" And then nobody's gonna care anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
but then there's Halloween.
Yeah,
That's true.
but if this is just we're just saying like films and video
Yeah.
games and like media content. Yeah, I'm gonna just really lowball it and say 6.
Okay.
I'm close to you, Andrew. I had 8 as my guess.
I'm not sure why
you're
I
right.
said 25.
Well, I mean, the thing is that the excitement's there right now, right? But
Yeah.
you have to take into
Right.
consideration that making the content can take a really long time. So if the game, like one of the games, I remember Mouse, I think that's a 2025 release.
Correct. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
here.
so if that's the case, that means it really won't be out until next year. I know that, what was it called? Annihilation 88 or something? Or what was the other one called?
Yeah, I don't remember. It's called. I had it.
Aneurysm 88 or
um,
what was it?
No, it's called Infestation
Infestation.
Origins.
There you go.
I don't know where I got the other titles from. But you have to imagine that they couldn't start filming these legally until January 1st, right? So unless they were trying to get around that, these productions, I'm almost positive that there's going to be some that are going to be rushed to market and they're going to just be hot garbage, right? Because they just want the shock value of Steamboat Willie doing, these horrible things. Like that's what these films are about. That's what it was with Winnie the Pooh. That's what these Steamboat Willie ones are going to be about. But they still take time, to film them, to edit them, and to release them, and figuring out how you're going to put them out into the world. So I don't think we're going to see more than, 8 to 10, if that. Maybe some shorts, maybe some like shorter cartoons or something. We'll see. Those are our guesses. We'd love to hear how many you think are going to end up there. Watch Mel just blow us out of the water, and there's like 25 of them
like
by the end of the year.
47.
Right?
Right. Prove me wrong, please.
So, all right. That's it. That is going to wrap up this episode. Again, we'd love for you to join the conversation over on Discord. If you haven't had an opportunity to join us yet, it is really easy to join and free, obviously. Just head on over to podketeers.com/links. There you will find a link to our latest episode, a link to the Quizneyland playlist. If we're doing any fundraising, you'll also see our links to whatever we're fundraising for there, a link to our YouTube channel, a link to Larry's YouTube channel, Goofy Guys Adventures. Make sure that you're subscribed. And follow Larry on Instagram as well, Goofy Guys Adventures, if you're not yet following him. So you can get alerts whenever he goes live from the parks. He's usually there, 2 to 3 times a week, just enjoying the park as best he can. So that's it. That's going to wrap it up. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep moving forward, and always remember to pass on the magic. Have a fantastic week, everyone.
Bye.
Torn Vinken, Rasshalt, Jerayud, Rimmed Forza, Nissaphors, Rissator.
Part of the Podketeers Network.